Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best Ebony Odogaron armor guide, the new crit meta. So this video analyzed the armor of the first subspecies of Season 5. And Ebony Odogaron armor brings an interesting new skill known as Bleeding Edge, which under certain conditions will increase your affinity, which is pretty dang cool. And some of the armor also has unique skills that can help in some other builds. Alright, first we're going to start off with the Ebony Odogaron armor for its stats and costs. So they start off at grade 5 with the base defense being 82. And here's what you need to forge them. You need 4 Ebony Odogaron Sinews, which are rarity 1, 7 Machalite Ores, which are rarity 2, 2 Ebony Odogaron Claws, which are rarity 3, and 2 Ebony Odogaron Prime Scales, which are rarity 4. And you also need 1500 Zenny. However, if you are looking to get the most out of your Ebony Odogaron armor, you're gonna need to get them to grade 8. And upgrading any piece of Ebony Odogaron armor to grade 8 will take a lot of materials. However, you need to, because it's necessary to get some drift smelt slots and some skills of the Ebony Odogaron armor. In addition, you'll also need some parts from the original Odogaron as you see here, and it's not a lot, but you're still gonna have to have some pieces. Now the good part is, Wyvern Gem Shards are used for the Rarity 6 material, so you don't have to worry about some special material or anything like that. You use Wyvern Gem Shards, so hopefully you already have them if you're going to get these to grade 8 or you're planning to. And now the content you've been waiting for, the analysis. Starting off with the helm, we have the Ebony Odogaron helm. Here's the equipment skills as well as its effects. You get Bleeding Edge level 1, which reduces damage from bleeding, and at grade 8 you will get Resuscitate level 1. Which increases damage by 5% when you are suffering from a status ailment. And its drift smelt slot is unlocked at grade 5. This is a key piece for the Bleeding Edge level 5 build. As you see, Resuscitate can be mad good with this and Bleeding Edge if everything's active. But we're going to have to do all the math. But if you want that Bleeding Edge level 3 build, you're definitely going to need to build this piece. Next up, you have the Ebony Odogaron Mail. And here's the analysis, equipment skills, and its effects. You'll get Latent Power level 1, where affinity is raised by 20% and special gauge fill rate is increased by 10% after 48 seconds into the battle, and it quickens by 1 second every 100 motion value hits. To make your brain not hurt, basically when you move and you attack, there's something called motion values. And then after you do that, your motion values build, and yeah, that's how it works. In addition, you will have Critical Element level 1 at grade 8, where your weapon's elemental attack power increases by 30% when landing a critical hit. And Drift Smelt slot is unlocked at grade 5. Now the thing about this is, it's an okay piece for this set. It gives you more flexibility for your critical element builds, but Silver Rathalos Greaves are generally better, just because the Greaves have weakness exploit with them. And if you're going to crit with critical element, you need more crit power. So yeah, that's why weakness exploit is better. Not saying latent power is bad, it's just too conditional and it doesn't mesh well with this piece. But again, it's okay. Moving on, you have the Ebony Odogaron Van Braces. Here's the analysis, equipment skills, and its effects. You will get Bleeding Edge level 1, which upgrades to level 2 at grade 6. In addition to the effects of level 1, it increases affinity by 50% when bleeding at level 2. So this is why this piece is so dang good. It's because you need this to activate the 50% affinity, and it's really awesome. And the Drift Smelt slot is unlocked at grade 8. This is necessary for Bleeding Edge level 3 and Resuscitate build. So if you're going to put that Resuscitate along with Bleeding Edge, which is actually pretty cool if you look at it and put it together. I don't know how much the bleed will do to you because you reduce its damage, but that's an experiment for later. However, 50% affinity is nuts. So definitely something that's worth looking into. And if you definitely need this piece if you're going to get Bleeding Edge level 3 and max it out anyways. Up next, we have the Ebony Odogaron Coil. Here's the analysis, equipment skills, and its effects. You will get Critical Boost level 1, which upgrades to level 2 at grade 6. This increases the damage multiplier of critical hits to 135% at grade 2. In addition, you'll also get Evasive Concentration level 1 at grade 8. With Evasive Concentration, what will happen is that it fills the special gauge by 7% after you performing a perfect evade, along with the Drift Smelt slot being upgraded and unlocked at grade 5. This is actually really weird. I don't know why Critical Boost and Evasive Concentration go together. I suppose if you put Aggressive Dodger, that will work out. A great piece for crit builds. You might actually need to change the crit meta for this, just because it can give level 2. However, a weak second skill is really disappointing, because again, they don't mesh together. But you also have Pink Rothing Coil, which gives you crit, so it's crit chance and crit boost. I'm going to have to crunch numbers, but if you want crit boost 5, this is definitely something that you're going to have to take a look at and factor in. And last but not least, we have the Ebony Odogaron Greaves. Here are the analysis equipment skills and effects. You'll get Dragon Attack level 1, which upgrades to level 2 at grade 8. And this will increase your weapon's Dragon Element value by 100 at level 2. In addition, you also get Evade Extender level 1, which at grade 8 is when you obtain this. And what happens is that you will very slightly extend your evasion distance, with the Drift Smelt slot being unlocked at grade 5. This is one of the best pieces of armor in this set. Dragon Attack level 2 and Evade Extender is nuts. That is a crazy combination, and if you are trying to max out Dragon Attack, this is a must for your Dragon Attack builds. So if anything else, if you don't want Bleeding Edge, this is definitely something worth looking at.
The Mark 7 is not ready for deployment.
Then skip the spinning rims, we're on the clock.
Oh, I love Iron Man. Well, you're probably not going to bleed out everywhere, but the thing is, the Ebony Odogaron overall armor analysis, most of the Ebony Odogaron armor is actually worth looking into. Again, you might not want to bleed out, but it's really interesting. Where the only piece in this set that's really met is the mail for critical element. Again, like I mentioned before, Silver Rathlow Screws are just better. So if you're looking for critical element, yeah, it gives you flexibility for the chest slot, but overall, the Silver Rathlow Screws are just better. And the thing about Bleeding Edge, it's really interesting with Resuscitate at first look. I'm gonna have to run more numbers though to see just how effective it will be. If you have crit and you activate that crit, you can do some pretty nutty damage. But again, that's just something to look after and something to look into. You probably won't be able to do it range, not worth it with range, but with melee, it's definitely something that's worth testing. Or I'm gonna take a look at it and see if it's good, but I want the numbers first. So once the numbers come out, then I'll be able to put a build out and seeing how it goes. However, if you don't care for Bleeding Edge, etc., the layered armor is also pretty cool. And it's if you like some Devil May Cry things, but yeah, it looks really cool. So if you like the look of this armor, you definitely want the layered armor if you don't care for the scales again. Hopefully this video helps you decide what to build for the Ebony Odogaron set. The thing is, Ebony Odogaron is a subspecies, so take advantage of all the events where it's out on the field. If you really want this thing, as annoying as it is to encounter, and as annoying it is to get all the materials you need for its armor, you're going to need to take out a lot of it. And outside of events, you're not going to see a lot of it. So, again, take advantage of those events. And please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully you're having fun with the Easter event, and hopefully y'all are building that Ebony Odogaron armor, are the ones you want and need. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.